Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Sinister, Team RG. We in the building. Hope everybody had a good day. Feeling good, feeling great, feeling blessed, working hard to be successful. And remember what I always tell y'all: never, ever, 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 ever let somebody put a ceiling on your sky, because the reason they doubting you and the reason they hating on you is because they looking at their own ability on what they can't accomplish. So today, I'm bringing you another episode of the Chronicles of the Struggle. And the struggle is real out here. And I'm letting y'all know. I'm getting to sit with my boy Jonathan, who came to orientation here at night today. Today's actually October 31st, 2016. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. I want all y'all that's sitting home to know you is not by yourself when you going through the struggle. But it do feel like you are by yourself. And sometimes you can't just go to your girl and talk about how you feel as a man. But you also can't even go to some of your homeboys when you feel in a certain way. Because it's just the pride in our ego that keeps us from us expressing our emotions, because it makes us look weak. Well, we breaking that. I'm bringing the struggle to the front line, so you can understand what it is that we are all dealing with. No matter what nationality you are, where you're from in the world, you can be from Australia, don't matter. But welcome, Jonathan. Thank you for doing the video. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that.
Let the world know what is some of the struggles that you are dealing with right now in life as a man.
I mean, where to start? I mean, when I was thinking about going into trucking, I didn't have any money.
Right.
I didn't have a job. I had a Jeep, and my grandmother gave me, on the condition that I would pay for it.
Right.
I had to sell that truck for $600 just to get into truck driving school.
Right.
And to put a little food on the table as I left for 3 weeks. Unpaid.
How much was the truck driving school?
The down payment for the loan was $321.
Okay.
They were going to cover my hotel. They were going to cover me the physical, the license, everything.
Right.
For that. And then the total cost came out to be almost $7,000 after the loan got set up. I made it through truck driving school. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy. I felt sick the day of the test. I didn't think I was gonna make it. And then I got my license. I got on with the company. I worked for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Things were getting better.
Right.
But I mean, it wasn't bread and butter better.
That's stepping stone.
We were getting by.
Right.
And I tried to move on up, bounced around a couple companies. Somehow I ended up back at the house. And this time it looked like for good.
Mm.
I knew there was opportunities out there having a year over the road, but where do I go from here? I just came off the road working a month at a time away from home, away from my wife,
right,
who I got married to right before going to truck driving school.
So y'all got married, they didn't even have the money to do a honeymoon.
We actually went and spent a couple nights in Tunica, Mississippi. We probably had about $20 to play at the casino and a few dollars to eat at the buffet, but it really wasn't like a nice honeymoon or anything like that.
Wow. So I kind of already feel that eagerness about your grind, because you're going to be like, yo, we couldn't even, they didn't even have $100 to just like you had to really monitor what you spent. The struggle is real.
I've been at the house probably about 3, maybe 4 weeks.
Right.
And sitting at the house feeling defeated. The job I went for couldn't accept me for specific reasons that I won't get into. But it messed my whole game plan up, and I didn't know where to go. And sitting at home, things got worse. Started running out of money.
Right.
The rent got behind.
What the rent backed up to?
We're about a month behind right now.
Been there. I've been there.
We there's things that we couldn't afford, basic things that everybody, doesn't really think about.
Or take for granted. Right.
I probably drank mostly water out of the tap, and I know that doesn't sound like much, but for somebody who really never drank water out of a tap, always getting bottled water or some kind of juice or soda or something like that, it was different. The constant headaches. Small things like not even having enough money to buy toilet paper.
Wow. Not even enough money for toilet paper.
And I know my mom, she would do anything for me, and I appreciate her for that. But I shouldn't have to ask people for money.
Right.
I shouldn't have to ask for help.
Right.
I should be out there making that money, providing for my family, and just overall not letting myself get defeated.
Right. And then when you're not making the money that you want as a grown man, it's like you don't got no energy to do nothing. You don't want to do nothing because you're sitting there and you're like, you're looking at everything else, you're looking at everybody around you, and everybody just look like they having a good time in life. And you're sitting there like, you don't got no energy like to get up to do nothing because you're just sitting there like, man, like life got to be better than this. So you backed up with the rent. What was the food struggle? Like, was there a food struggle? Struggling with getting food? You ain't have money to get tissue.
Really didn't have a whole lot of money for food either. I mean, we made do with what we had until that ran dry. Like I said, I know my family could have helped, and they've got their own lives though.
Right.
I don't want to ask somebody else for help. And I guess it's been pride that's kept me this way, but we have... I've seen cabinets full of food at other people's houses. And I've also seen bare crumbs.
Right.
And if you don't have enough money to buy toilet paper, put gas in your car, to buy another key because you lost your original key to your car.
How much was the key?
Somewhere around $100 from Hyundai.
So now you ain't got the money. So you lost the key. The key to the car got lost. The key's $100. So you ain't never got the key back?
Still hadn't found it. We spent all weekend looking for that key.
So now the car's just parked. Because you can't go nowhere because there ain't no key. Then you can't go nowhere because you ain't got no money to go buy the key.
Right.
The struggle is real, y'all. with money being short, with you and your wife at the house, what was some, like, when that end of the month came, or the middle of the month, or the beginning of the month, what y'all ate? What was there to eat?
When we ran out of canned foods and things that we had stocked up and everything, we've actually gone to gas stations where friends of the family had owned, or people we just knew from living in the area. They were nice enough to give us what they were going to throw out.
Yeah. Y'all hear this? Man, for y'all sitting home, pull that part back of the video. Or you know what, better yet? He said he got friends of the family that work at a gas station, gave them food that they was gonna throw out for you and your wife to eat. You know what? And people take having just a can of soda for granted. Being able to just go and have a steak for granted. And you know, people don't ask to live life like this. Because I know he don't want to live life like this. And I know a lot of y'all that sit home, you don't want to live life like this. And sometimes we get to a point where we feel lost in life. But we got the answer. It's time to get up and get on that grind. And take that pain. And remember the days when you ain't have no soda. Remember the days when you ain't have no bread. Remember the days, like Reggie said, when his car got taken, repossessed. And take all that pain and put it in that pot and stir it up. And include that in your grind. And when you get into that profession that you want, we choose to be truck drivers. Because we know this can give us the money we want. But you got to find that company that's home to you. But now he's going to take that pain because he don't want to have to sit here and see his wife standing next to him while they at the gas station asking for food that they're going to throw out. How embarrassing that can be. What type of, how does that, what is the line, what is I'm looking for? Like, that's just embarrassing to him as a man. Like, man, me and my ladies out here. And we popped. Nobody knows you when you popped. Nobody knows you when you ain't got no money. Nobody. Ain't nobody, none of your friends could be found. But then as soon as you start coming up, oh, all of a sudden you start having these pop, hey. What about cell phones?
Well, surprisingly, a friend of mine, shout out, Will McCammon, been a good friend for a long time. I really appreciate you. He actually told the phone company that I recommended him, and because he had 3 lines on his account, they credited me $50 a piece. And that $150 is keeping my phone on so that I can get job interviews and stay online to do applications and stay connected with night transportation. And
Right.
Shout out to Natasha. Everything you've done for me up to this point has just been amazing.
Right. Right. Yeah, she's a very down to earth person. She's a very down to earth. And you know, she looks at things from the driver's perspective. She just don't bring you in to put you in the truck. she knows that we got to leave jobs back home. We got to leave family back home to come and do this, to go to orientation. How did you get to orientation? What?
I had a friend of mine who lives in Memphis. Say hey, Ty Carmen. Been a good friend. I've known him for years.
Shout out to Todd.
And he was nice enough to come down from Memphis and meet me, my brother, and my brother-in-law, and my wife in Holly Springs to pick me up and bring me back to the hotel Sunday night. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have made it. I mean, you know, it's my family lives so far away compared to where I live.
Right.
The distance they would have had to travel to do that, and at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, they'd have been midnight getting home.
Right.
And if it wasn't for Ty being right there, ready to take that spot, he had plans. And because of such a good friend he's been to me, he showed up. When I called him, he said, "How soon do you want me there?"
Taking time out his day. When some people will come up with an excuse like, "Oh, yo, I can't," you know, some people just have an excuse.
I ain't gonna name any names, but I know somebody that I was gonna get a ride from, and I know he's busy, and he's got his own life to live, but
Right.
he sent me a message first thing that morning. "Hey John, I'm not gonna be able to take you to orientation." No reason why, but I'm not angry at him. I feel like that was my one chance to get somebody to get me there and
Right.
have me set up, and then after looking for the car keys all day long, it was just
Seemed like there was no hope in sight. Seemed like there was no hope in sight.
and I really didn't want my father to have to drive that far. My dad, not too long back, messed his foot up real bad,
Right.
and he broke his ankle, and he now has to wear a boot permanently
Wow.
just to get around, and I know it's difficult for him to get in and out a lot, and with diabetes and everything else, it's tough on them, and I know they struggle,
Right.
and that's why it's hard for me to ask them for help, and that's why when I'm struggling, I try my best
Not to ask.
not to ask, not to. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being broke.
Right.
I'm tired of sitting at home. I wonder what we're going to eat tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to call the landlord and tell him rent's going to be a week late. Rent's going to be a month and a week late.
Right. Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I've been there.
I've lost one car before. I told my wife when we got this car that I owed her the money that she put down on her first car that was actually hers.
Right.
We lost it, and I let her down.
So she lost her car too?
She lost her first Hyundai, and she put $5,000 cash on it.
Wow.
And I told her when we got this new car, thanks to Potts Camp Bank, shout out, that when we got this car that I was going to make sure that I paid it in full, because that price, that $5,000 price tag that she laid down on the car was exactly what we were paying for this new Hyundai.
Right.
I told her I would not mess this up. You are not going to lose a second car.
Right.
And we're already a week behind on that. I'm not going to let anymore. I can't do it. I'm tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of being broke.
Yep.
Tired of not having any money. I'm tired of asking for money from my folks. a couple years ago, my grandparents, I was working for a guy who owed me money. And instead of doing it the right way, I took money.
Right.
I turned myself into a dishonest person. Worse than I probably already was. I was looking at 10 years for 2 counts. Felony forgery. And if it wasn't for my grandparents, I'd be sitting in a jail cell right now. They have been backing me up 100%, my folks. But I'm tired of asking them for money.
You ready to stand on your own?
A man isn't supposed to ask for help. He's supposed to earn it.
Right.
Work hard for it.
Right. For all y'all sitting home, I just want y'all to understand that life don't come with no blueprints, and life will throw you all kind of curveballs, and the world is an ugly place. And like Jonathan said, he tired. That's where I was. Tired. Not able to pay the rent. Not being able to enjoy the simplest things in life. Sit there and gotta ask somebody, and you know, they don't really, you know, they got their life to live, they got their bills, and every time you turn around, and it's just like Reggie said, every time he try to take 2 steps forward, he gets pulled back 10 steps. But see, this is why it's important for these videos that I do come out. Because a year from now, when he's well better off than where he's at right now, he can look back and be like, you know what? Struggle is real. So a lot of y'all sit there and y'all watching the blogs and y'all watching other YouTubers sit there like, don't work here, don't work there. Let me tell you something. A lot of people might criticize me because I smile and I'm happy, I'm motivated. But I made $300, well, $329 a week after taxes and child support. Have to take $103 out of that to put away each week just to pay next month's rent. I can't do like one shot where I can pay the rent in one shot because I didn't mean I'd be broke. Living check to check. I did food stamps. I remember when my homeboy stayed with me at the house, we did stale egos, oodles and noodles, Vienna sausages. Lucky if we was able to even get a box of cereal
With milk.
with milk. So, for all of y'all sitting home and you looking to pursue your goals and your dreams because you want a better life, but you got what Jonathan is going through and what Reggie is going through, they here. They came tonight with nothing, hoping to take nothing and turn it into something. And as long as God give me breath in my body, I'm going to help y'all. I don't care how much people talk about me or how people feel about me with what I do. This is my purpose. This is what God gave me this gift for. And they here at night with me, and I'm going to make sure they is good. And no, I ain't grow up with them. But the pain of the struggle is real. I know what it feels like. I've been there. And no matter how big this gets, I always told myself, I'm always stay humble, and I'm always going to do it for the ones in the struggle. I'm out here in the trenches with them, driving. I'm still driving. I ain't in no office. I don't want no office job. I got an office, sitting in my driver's seat. So make that change in your life if you want better. Anything you want to tell anybody back home? Shout outs.
Hey, Shaw. Love you, baby. Mom, Dad, all my folks and family, mother-in-law and brother-in-law. Thank y'all for being there for me.
Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Leave your comments down below. As soon as Jonathan get his driver code, I will put it in the bottom description box down below the video. If you come tonight, please be sure to put his driver code, because I don't need the referral money. Now, before we go, I wanted to touch the topic of the food situation. So I'm in the van coming back from the Memphis terminal. We coming back to the hotel. And I said, yo, we going to eat? So he was like, I forgot what you said. You said,
I don't have anything to eat on. I don't have any money.
Right, he ain't have no money. I said, all right, don't worry about it. I got you. And he was like, nah, I can't let you do that. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Nah, that ain't how we function that night. I got you. I just met him today. It's not about, I didn't bring this up to make it a bragging thing. It's just the fact that we are human beings and we got to look out for each other. Everybody's so caught up in themselves. Well, I'm breaking bread with my fellow brothers. I don't care where you're from. I don't care your nationality. We're going to break bread. Some people is going to take my advice and they're going to grow and they're going to be motivated to help others. And some is just not going to get on board. And that's understandable. You can't save everybody. But these videos is for all of y'all sitting home, going through the struggle. Know that the struggle is real.